Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Good afternoon. It is now officially more like nighttime.
Yeah. Hello from California. Oh, I miss California. I miss California every day. I used to live there for a little bit, and God, I miss it.
I have I've been to a part of Northern California, but everyone tells me I need to get to Southern California as well. And I think of them as two different states because they're very different. So.
I also think of them as I lived in Southern California, and I always wanted to go to Northern California. So it's like, is it as beautiful as like they say it is? I just feel like the Pacific Northwest and that whole area is just chef's kiss.
Yeah, I went to the redwood forest, and that is worth it. Seeing a redwood will change your mind about life and everything. It was absolutely insane.
So this is like one of those things where my book is set in Seattle, and it's like set kind of on Mount Rainier, and it's so challenging writing about a place you've never been to before. And I desperately want to go, but I'm like, I can't just like take a trip there like randomly right now. But I'm reading, I'm sure you might have seen it. I'm reading Twilight.
I was just thinking about that.
And I was like, perfect.
Yes, the perfect vibes.
Hi Bella, hi Ellie. Welcome to the stream. Hello. So I know some folks are still coming in, but obviously y'all know me for the most part, but I want to give Michaela a chance to introduce herself and talk a little bit about her project and her channel. For any audiences that don't know her, she's amazing, and I feel so blessed that she agreed to do a joint stream today. So take it away, Michaela.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name's Michaela, but you all can call me Mick. My channel is Mick Writes, where I mainly talk about my own writing journey with the book I will be working on today in these writing sprints, but then also I like to do insanely long deep dives into writing craft using other books and really anything I think of. So, yeah.
Yeah, Mick's videos are fantastic. If you're looking to start writing and have absolutely no idea, I feel like Mick's page is just such a great place to start. Your deep dives, I literally sit there. I have them on the TV. Also, does it ever freak you out when someone's like, I put your videos on my TV? One of my friends told me that, and I was like, get that off your screen right now.
Yes, it freaks me out just looking at view count because I'm just like, that many people saw my face? That's the craziest thing to me. That's wild. People perceive me. It's very weird. It's very strange.
You kind of almost have to like not think about it.
Yeah.
To like keep doing it. I think, and one of your videos got like 23,000 views. I was like, I think the most one of mine has was like 4. And I was like, I cannot fathom that many people looking and listening to my voice.
It's crazy. That first video I posted, it has 32,000 views. That's a stadium, Becca.
Michaela's Eras Tour.
I am on my own Eras Tour. Yes. No, it's terrifying. I can't even look at the analytics of that video anymore because I'm like, please stop looking at this. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's very strange. So yeah, I just try not to think about it.
It's such a good video. Like, of course people are going to see it. Mermaids are nice. Hello. Lily, I'm reading The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. Ooh. I read The Only One Left. I think that's the only book of his that I've read. And I know he just put out a new one. I think it's called The Middle of the Night. I have yet to check out, but I like Riley. Ari! Hi, friends. Excited for the dream team. We got to get you on a stream at some point, Ari.
Yeah, we do.
You're too great to not have on a stream and chat, and I will be hitting you up about that at some point. I'll be writing poetry as well. Ooh.
Very fun. I give credits to all poets because that's just not me. I can't do it. I have so many friends who are poets, and I think you all are rock stars because I can't. It is an art form, and
Yeah.
it's an
I
art form I
feel
can
like
not do.
I took I studied English for my undergrad and I took a poetry class, and I poetry and short story writing are the two things that I have such a deep respect for, people that can do
Oh,
that,
yeah.
because I could not. I I cannot.
Short stories, because I was also an English major and I
Mhm.
specifically was creative writing. So they always had us write short stories until I could actually write a book for my thesis.
Mhm.
Horrible, no good, very, very, very bad time.
Yeah.
I Short stories are so much harder than a full book, so much harder. So mad
That's
props.
so fun. I also did creative writing, so look at us. Two English
Look at
girlies.
us, two English girlies.
I had to highlight Ellie's comment. One of my TikToks got 2.2 million views, and that's like the entire state of South Carolina. I would die. I would
Absolutely
actually
not.
die.
Yeah, see, if I just think about that too much, that's insane,
Yeah, no, I
Ellie.
hate that. I hate that. Good for you, Ellie. I hope you got all
That's
of the engagement out
amazing.
of that, though. I
But
truly.
also, the entire state of South Carolina saw you.
That's
That's wild.
wild.
But congrats. That's also like insane for TikTok.
Yeah.
That's like so good.
I feel like since I've started like posting and like being on social media and like meeting friends that also do this like online, like everyone's always like, "Oh, I hope I get that one video that goes viral and like it kind of kicks everything
Hmm.
off." I fear going viral so deeply. Like I'd rather
Same.
grow like smaller at smaller increments. I wouldn't know what to do. Like I would truly would know what to do.
No, me either. Me either. That's like too much.
Yeah. Currently working on my horror work in progress, Raspberry Youth, typing
Ooh.
up backgrounds for my character and bios on Milanote. I love Milanote.
Same.
Um, incredible. I'm so down, but I'm also terrified. Don't be. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm scared of
It's
everything.
fine.
Yeah.
I was just telling Becca I came out of the shower with no makeup on. You guys are seeing the raw me. It's okay. We're
Yeah.
all friends here.
Yeah. And everyone's like rooting for you. So it's like, it's
Mhm.
fine. I'm a creative writing major. We're everywhere. You can't get rid of us.
You really can't. It's the takeover.
It wasn't me. It was a video of my sister sleeping on the porch. Still, that many eyes were on your
That's
account.
funny.
That's the thing though.
How does
Um,
your sister feel about that? The entire state of South Carolina saw her sleeping on the porch. Now I'm like, have
oh,
I seen it?
I'm gonna search up Ellie's TikTok after the
Me
stream.
too. Now I'm like, wait a second. Have I seen this before? Hmm.
Ellie, drop the TikTok now.
Yeah. Drop that link.
Same, Becca. I'm so afraid of being seen. Like, let me be in my cozy corner of the internet. Listen, I get it. I get it.
Hmm.
It's like that meme of Patrick. I refer to everything as a SpongeBob meme because I am that old. Where he comes back from grocery shopping and there's like all these people hiding under his like house rock, and he's like, "Who are all you people?" That's how I feel every single time.
That's a great
Um,
reference. And you are
I'm full
not
of them.
old. Is SpongeBob now old? Actually, I don't want to know the answer to that question.
Well, it's definitely different. I think it's still
Yeah.
going.
It's Is it?
I think I think it's still going. I don't watch it anymore, obviously, but like I feel like its best years are behind it anyway. So I got all the good references in the bank. So
Very true.
um awesome. Well, if everyone is ready, we can go ahead and start our first writing sprint.
Perfect.
So if you're new here, we will do typically 30-minute sprints. I usually like to stream for about 2 hours ish. We'll take a little break, we'll chat. I encourage all of you guys, please share what you're working on in the chat. Is there anything you're struggling with? what genre are you guys writing. If you have any questions for myself or Michaela, please leave them down there as well. And I will be playing some lo-fi music. I know I did this in my first stream, and a lot of you guys really seem to like that, so I'm gonna do that again. But if it's annoying for most of you, then we will do the next few sprints without them. I am all about people pleasing, so you just let me know, and we will adjust.
Same.
Okay, so let me. Yeah, I'm a really good streamer. I know exactly what buttons to push. Okay.
You got this.
Alrighty, guys. I'm going to start the timer, put on some music.
Tommy, you got a death wish.
First sprint is done. Admittedly, I don't think anyone heard the timer. Maybe that was just me. Oh,
Oh, I'm still muted.
there you go.
I did not hear the timer, no.
How did you do? What did I do?
Pretty okay. Yeah, let me see. I'm highlighting. I did 465 words this round, which I will take, especially because I was looking up words in the dictionary for most of them
Oh,
and
you have like
eating my dinner.
a physical dictionary with you?
Yeah, I do. The Random House Crossword Puzzle Dictionary. Specifically. I don't know why, but that's what I have.
I like
I
it.
would like a thesaurus. I use it kind of as a thesaurus, but I need like a legit thesaurus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I don't even use like thesaurus or is it thesaurus.com? There's one that I use all the time. I actually use ChatGPT. I'm like, what's another word for this? Because sometimes it's like not
Honestly, yeah.
the
I
word
know,
that
I feel like thesaurus.com doesn't always give me the best ones. No.
I use AI like a personal assistant.
I love that. I think that's how it should be used.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I was saying like because I've never been to like Seattle or like the Pacific Northwest, I'm like, what time of year does it actually snow? Or like what kind of activities are there? Like I use it to like
Yeah.
get all like the research for me, and then I go back and like fact check a lot of it. But at the same time, it's like very convenient. So, but it
That's
looks like
great.
I was right there with you. I think I did 4:33, which I
Look
will
at
take.
us.
Had a good sprint in like a weeks.
Yeah.
Let me see what we have in the comments. I have to scroll up a little bit. SpongeBob is timeless.
Agreed.
The Shakespeare of our time, if I'm being completely honest. Not really, but you know what I mean. I'm working on my dialogue first draft of my fantasy novel, and I'm pretty sure I'm about to finish this draft on this live stream. Clap for you.
That's so exciting.
Oh my gosh. Congrats, Ari. That's awesome. Please inject that lo-fi rain into my. Yeah, I know you love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm getting back into the groove of things after being in a 6-year, oh my god, writer's block. Listen, sometimes you gotta step away from it and come back to it later because
For real.
I feel sometimes, I think as creatives, sometimes the stories come to you before you're fully ready for them. I feel like sometimes it's really silly to think about, but like, I don't know, there's like this discourse that I'm seeing a lot online about like, especially younger writers, like writers that are still in like high school or like really trying to find their writing style, being like, oh, I feel so behind because I haven't published anything. And like, I'm like, you're in high school, you're young. What life have you lived to write about, you know? So it's like,
Yeah.
don't stress.
No, I get that. I mean, I've talked about on my channel that I took also almost like a 6-year writing break. And I've had the story that I'm writing now in my head for that long. But me 6 years ago could have never written this. Like, the idea was just too much to tackle. So, yeah, I think sometimes you do need a break. And writing is one of those crafts that I think ample breaks are needed, or like the long breaks will happen. Like, I think you need to give yourself little breaks over time because writing block is real.
Writing block is so real. And then I think when I first started getting back into writing, like in earnest, I think about 2 years ago, I put so much pressure on myself to finish the project so quickly, right? And it's like, okay, I'm writing and I see all these people finishing a draft in like 3 months. And so like I can do that. You know, it's like riding a bike after, well, you never forget how to ride a bike, but it's like you're trying to run a marathon when you haven't even like learned how to properly run. And so like you have to give yourself like a lot of grace. And like I've learned to just be like, you know what, when it's ready, it's ready. Most people, most of like my favorite authors didn't even get published until like, I think Suzanne was like 31 or 34 when she published Hunger Games. And that is like my what is it? Measuring stick for success is Suzanne Collins' Hunger Games.
Truly.
I'm working on a contemporary romance novel about a modern day princess running away on her wedding day. Already love it. And finding herself in the middle of Texas, helping out a handsome farmer with his new B&B.
I love that.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds so fun.
In my latest vlog, I was talking about how I've kind of opened myself back up to like the realm of like romance books. Romance books are so fun, y'all. I don't know why I was so averse, and like I think I mentioned it then too. I'm like I started reading again because of a romance book. So I will take any romance recommendations in the comments down below. Just saying.
I feel that. I think I go in and out of like, I think you said in your vlog, which I relate to, like it's just not the first thing you gravitate towards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely the case for me too. But
I think, well, do you find, so like because I write in a specific genre, and even though like I personally don't want to be like, I love horror, I love thriller, I love the lens that it provides to, I think, view different like themes and stuff like that. I don't only want to write that, but like because that is what I'm writing, I tend to read a lot, and I wanted to like expand, I think, my knowledge of the genre. And so that's why I was so involved in reading mainly like thrillers and horror and stuff like that. And so like you just kind of forget to read for, like, I'm reading for fun, but I'm also reading to learn. And so when I was like, oh yeah, I can just like read a book for no other reason than to just read a book.
yeah. No, I get that. I think I write mostly fantasy-ish, but I think that's also just like my reading default.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget that there are just other genres out there. And so I kind of go through like a harsh, either I'm only reading fantasy or I'm right now in the time where I'm like, please do not recommend a fantasy to me because I want to read everything but that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know what it is. For some reason, I think like I love rom-coms, but I
Mm-hmm.
love them in movies. I have such a harder time getting into romance books.
Mm-hmm.
But lately, I've been finding a lot of romance books that I've been loving. So I don't know if it's just, I don't know, some great ones have really come out and they're my cup of tea. But yeah.
I think the reason, and I think this is my way of thinking is a detriment, and I'm admitting that right now, is that I think because romance is such a popular genre, and I think that's what a lot of women tend to write, like, and more power to you, I sometimes worry that a lot of people write for tropes instead of for writing like a good story. So sometimes like the tropes are really good, but the story is not as strong. And I think I just tend to judge it a little bit. 100% though, recognizing that that's not a romance only problem. I think
Right.
fantasy and horror, like a lot of genres, have that problem.
Oh, yeah.
But because romance is so popular, it feels like that's the one that like I think just gets hit on the most, and just like the one people tend to like poke holes in. I have my first Emily Henry, and as soon as I'm done with Twilight, I think I'm picking that one up. I have Beach Read just sitting on my shelf.
Yeah.
And
Emily Henry's really good. She's
I'm
really,
salivating.
really good.
I'm like feral. I was like, I want to get into it. Like, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's very, very fun.
Corazon, I feel that I've been writing my book for 12 years now, with years of writer's block slowing it all down. And that's okay. You're doing it now. So
we've all been there.
I'm working on outlining and plotting my fantasy work in progress. Nice. I've been scared to work on it. Overwhelmed is an understatement, but I think I'm finally getting somewhere. So I think, funnily enough, before I decided to go all in on this book, I had a fantasy series that I still very much so one day want to tap back into. But Michaela, since you're writing fantasy, do you want to talk about a little bit like what your experience has been and like how you're kind of navigating it? Because it is very overwhelming to build a world from scratch.
No, it definitely is. And I think I have talked about this in some of my videos, but
yeah,
I've just tried to switch my way of thinking with this draft, where like I used to be someone who didn't really plot everything out. I flew by the seat of my pants. But I also was like over analyzing everything as I was writing. And I've tried to just completely change that. And that has helped me write this fantasy better than my previous fantasies. I have plotted it out, but I just remind myself I don't have to know everything just yet. My world building is like next to none while writing my first draft, which is why I've been calling it like the zero draft. I have vague ideas of world building, very vague of the magic system, very vague. It's very scary. And so since I know that, like I'm just kind of letting myself discover that as I write, but I'm not allowing it to be a blocker. I'm just trying to work through it. And then hopefully the next draft, I'll be able to actually then go in and add the world building and add in the magic stuff, because I could get stuck planning and researching a fantasy novel and do it for literally years before I wrote. It is very overwhelming.
There's one of my favorite writing channels is Christy Ann Jones, and I was watching. I love her Project Teacup vlogs. Also, all of her vlogs is just so cozy. But like, I was watching her latest video where she was talking about her new project, and I think she mentioned that for Project Teacup, she literally spent almost 2 years researching and doing all of like the legwork for it. And I was like, that's crazy. So I jump in without a plan. I'm like, I have a vibe, I have an idea, and I just go in and I figure it all out as I'm doing it. But yeah, I think being organized is just such, like, it's a balance of like being organized and also trusting yourself to figure out where the gaps are when you're writing, and like knowing like, okay, when I get back to it. I think that's one thing that I get kind of hung up on, is like, we were chatting before the stream about like editing, and it's like, will I edit the life out of this? Or will I know when to kind of like take the blood off of the page, the red ink. But congratulations, Sarah. Starting a fantasy book is a long climb, but I hope it's been fun. It's supposed to be fun. Never forget that. I napped the whole time with my cat.
Fair. Honestly, fair. My cat has been behind me knocking down like everything in my office, which is why it's blurred out. So fair. That's fair.
Totally locked in and combined 2 documents, retyped everything into one place, and it's 1,138 words total. Oh my gosh. Congratulations.
That's so good. That's really,
that is
really
amazing. I reworked a scene by writing it down on paper. It's really different from typing it. The scene flows better now. I will also say I don't think I could ever go fully digital. I have to have pen and paper there are times where like I have to physically write out the scene before I type it, because I'm like, I almost need to like have a plan before I go in and type it. When I talk to Cody, he keeps everything, like he uses, I think, GoodNotes on his iPad, and I was like, I can't even do that. Like I need the feeling of pen to paper to feel like I'm getting it all out. But congratulations. That's awesome. Just popped in. How long are the sprints? So we're doing 30 minutes, and then we'll take a little break so we can catch up on chat and, obviously converse with you guys. But we usually do 3 30-minute sprints during these lives. Jasmine! Welcome to the stream. I love Jasmine's channel. If any of you want a really cool writing channel, I love Jasmine's channel. I'm working on a scene where the characters are playing golf. I don't know anything about golf, but we're winging it in the first few drafts. I might do the ChatGPT. I'm telling you, this is the way it was intended to be used. Make that bitch your assistant. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm working on a scene where my female main character is sitting down to dinner with her father, stepmom, and half-sister. I love a good dinner scene. It's been a bit difficult trying to work out the dynamics and what they would talk about. Ooh.
Yeah.
Michaela, do you have any insights on dialogue? That's such a tricky thing.
Ooh. I hate dialogue so much. I hate it. I think these are some like the most difficult scenes. I think whenever we're doing these live like writing sprints and I have to write down a chatting scene, like dialogue heavy, I get like 100 words because I'm over here like, what are people saying?
Mhm.
I don't know. It sounds crazy, but I know a lot of people do this. I speak out loud. Like I have to actually talk to myself to
Mhm.
make sure that what I'm saying sounds believable. Because I
Mhm.
think it's easy to get into like a writing mode where, you're talking as a character, but it might not sound real in
Mhm.
real life, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. Like you're still kind of speaking like an author voice. So I have to talk to myself, unfortunately, to get good dialogue.
Listen, you say talking to yourself, I'll raise you one more. I straight up close my eyes
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, okay, where's the character? Where is it moving? Like, where? I think also too, look, like as you keep writing, you find that like character voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm literally writing a dialogue scene, and I was kind of hating it at the end of that sprint, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I hate this. I know where they're supposed to get to, and I don't know how to get there. So we're just gonna try. But I just dialogue is just such a tricky thing. What are the stories you're working on about? Michaela, do you want to go first?
Great question.
I
I
hate this
hate
question.
answering this question. I don't know, guys. I've tried to explain it on my channel and I keep getting more questions about it. And I'm like, I don't know what it's about, okay? The main gist is we have a main character, Helen. I guess her best friend Zoya is missing. And when she finds her, she finds out that she has been taken in by this cult who's trying to take down an evil mafia family. That's really all I can say. There's a lot of magic, there's a lot of drugs. Yeah, I have no idea, guys. I'm still figuring it out, which is why I'm writing the first draft.
I follow Victoria Aveyard. She's one of like my biggest, I think, writing inspirations, and I feel like she
Mm-hmm.
gives so much good advice when it comes to writing. And I think, but I just love her because she's like literally never asked me what I'm writing about because it's so embarrassing. Um, mm, Mine is very, I hate talking about it also. I had an aunt ask me,
No.
"Oh, I saw you were writing a book. What's it about?" And I was like,
Oh, no.
"Oh, how do I tell you?"
No, if family starts asking,
Murder.
I will change the subject. I'm like, no, we're not talking about that right
Yeah.
now.
No, literally mine found my YouTube channel.
Oh my
Mine
God.
found my YouTube channel and they're like, "So, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Leave me alone."
I
Um,
didn't think you'd find this.
yeah. But to answer your question, Miss Blogger, mine is about essentially, if I just pare it down to a sentence, my female main character and her billionaire boyfriend. It's not a billionaire romance. Get that out of your head. But they decided to go on a vacation to Mount Rainier after my main character's life kind of goes to shit. And she's been haunted by the vision of her mother's burned corpse because she watched her die in the house fire when they were little. And it's a story about um, a woman who is very much like older, like a coming of self, like a coming of age for an older woman, and discovering like how to finally listen to her intuition before she gets killed. And I'll leave it at that. It's very like isolation trope. It's kind of mystical woods. It's kind of paranormal and horror and things like that. But I love the story so far and where it's going. It might be the death of me eventually, but it's fun right now.
So you did that way better than me.
I
That
listen,
was
I felt
great.
psychotic talking about that. I was like,
No,
murder
that was
and
perfect.
ghosts. Thank you. I'm new to your channels, and I've been looking for author writing YouTubers. Do I have some recommendations for you, buddy? Have y'all published any work yet? Or have specific niche genres you love to read and write? I'll speak for myself. I haven't have I published anything recently? No. I did publish some things in college. My university ran like a small literary magazine, and I worked as an editor there. And I worked on our school newspaper, so I've published pieces there, but I haven't published anything in recent years. Favorite YouTube channels? Oddly enough, I have on my channel a list of folks that I've highlighted with their channels already there.
Do that.
Yeah, so Mick, you're on there. Cody the writer, Ari's pages, Brielle writes. There's so many really, really great small channels that you can connect with. Lindy Jung, Chris MF, they're all listed on my page. So if you want to go check out some folks, I have some listed there. And in terms of niches and genres, I love horror, and I love a good cozy fantasy. I love a good epic fantasy. So, what about you, Mick?
Yeah, Becca, I feel like we're the same person because not only did we both do the Disney College program, I too have been published in my college's literary magazine and worked as an editor, as well as in the newspaper and published articles there. So also that's where I've only been published. I have not published anything post-college, which sadly for my soul has now been a long time ago. I feel
same
because I'm almost 30. That's okay. We're 30, flirty, and thriving. So I've not published anything in a while, but I'm hoping to maybe soon. For specific niche genres that I love to write and read, I mean, specific niche genres, I guess right now I'm writing a contemporary fantasy, and I gotta say I'm a sucker for contemporary or urban fantasy. I don't know if there's always well done urban fantasies, but I read every single one. So it is a specific niche genre that I just absolutely love, and I wish there was like more books in that realm, as well as, I mean, I guess whatever the Raven Boys is would be considered contemporary fantasy too, but I really love that trope of anything like paranormal, mystical, with the real world.
Have you read, I would be shocked if you didn't, N.K. Jemisin's, oh God, it's on my Kindle. What is it? The World That...
Oh, no, I have not yet. I know what you're talking about.
You do?
I don't remember the name. It's on my The City We Became. Are you talking about that one? Or fifth season? No, not yet. It is on my very large TBR list that I try not to look at because it stresses me out. But I have been meaning to move it up, but I've been weary of like reading urban fantasies while writing an urban fantasy.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to like accidentally take too much influence, from something.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a hard time with that.
It like weaves itself in there, like
It
without
does.
you even realizing it. So I get that. Anything by Emily Henry is truly gold. I think every single book of hers has either been optioned for a TV show or a movie, which flex for Emily. Congratulations. 450. Amazing.
Wow.
Sorry, it just started thundering and storming here. It's great for the vibes, honestly, but all right, so we've chatted a lot. Are we all ready to hop on our next sprint? I'm gonna say yes. I'm making the executive decision. Okay. 30 minutes on the clock. Here we go. I'm gonna have to turn the freaking alarm on the sprint up because I just kept going.
I know, you were in a groove. It's okay.
How did you do?
I did okay. I did a little worse than the first one.
Mhm.
Looks like I did 215 words. which not bad. I was stuck on terminology of what I was trying to describe. That kept throwing me off. So
I think I'm right there with you. Whoever brought up dialogue, I curse you because I got stuck on a dialogue section. So I only got like 260 words, but I think it's a decent dialogue section, so I don't think I'm gonna have to do too much to it. But it's like this it's the part in the story where like my B character is essentially like spurring my main character to dig a little deeper about something. And so I'm trying to figure out how to have this happen naturally without her straight up being like, you should look into this, you know what I mean? So but let us see what chat is up to. Let me catch up on some. This is like the most people have engaged on a live stream with me, and I'm like, look at all these chat questions. Awesome. Okay. Where am I? Ha. Okay. I too have a hard time getting into romance books, but I'm such a hopeless romantic. I know it'll be my main genre once I publish one day. I get that. I think, like, oddly enough, my husband loves rom-coms, actually. And I am so averse to them, like watching them. I love like old rom-coms like Sleepless in Seattle and When Harry Met Sally, and like I think there's just like a sense of nostalgia to those that I just really love. But I don't know why I'm so I was telling my therapist about this, and I find way too many things cringy.
I get that. I think sometimes rom-coms or romance books can be a bit cringy. You have to like be able to like embrace the cringe.
Yes. So that's like a me thing. 100%. 100%. Hi y'all. My work in progress is about a witch who wants to become a vampire in order to feel safe, as the empire next door uses witches to conquer the continent.
Wow.
Interesting.
That is fun.
It gives me a little bit of Castlevania. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard of that. But I love the show. Have yet to play the game, but love the show. ChatGPT is best used to help with human domination, not human subordination. 100%. For me personally, when I'm struggling with dialogue, I sometimes turn on an episode of a TV show or a movie to analyze similar scenes and see how other writers approach believable dialogue. That's actually such a good idea. Oddly enough, one of the shows that I think does such a great job with dialogue, and y'all might disagree with me, that's fine, but Supernatural, just because I find Dean to be such an incredibly unique character, and like I feel like everything he says and does is just so true to his character, and Sam as well, that I'm just like, yeah, I get that. He would absolutely do that.
Yeah, I feel like analyzing like screenplays or just scripts from TV shows, specifically TV shows, because TV shows have a lot more dialogue usually. Just because movies, they like to do a lot of like big sweeping cinematic shots, and in TV shows, it's really just talking scenes. One of my favorites to analyze is Gilmore Girls, because it's a very specific type of writing. But I think Amy Sherman Palladino just has a way with words and characterization. And then, of course, season 1 of Grey's Anatomy specifically is I think one of the best written TV show seasons like of all time, and a great way to analyze dialogue.
A good case study of that. I think in line with Amy Sherman Palladino, her Miss Maisel show was also, I think, like I could just see Gilmore Girls, all like that whole style of writing and like talking.
Yeah.
So clearly
She
in that
writes
show.
dialogue very similarly, but like she's still, I don't know, it's just a good study because like you can tell she wrote the show. She has her own writer voice, but she does still a good job at making sure every character sounds like their own character. It's
Yeah.
wild. She's very good at that.
I was gonna say the other one that I love, Fleabag. I feel like in terms of like dialogues, like the whole way that show is structured is just, I think, such a masterclass. And the fact that there's only 2 seasons, I'm just like, I get it, but I also want more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My mother-in-law asked me what my story is about, and I'm like, yeah, no. I'm avoiding that conversation at all costs. I prefer to type over writing out my works. I use apps and websites like Milanote and Campfire Creators. It really helps me map out the extras in my work and keep photos together. It might help out. Yeah, I mean, I have a mood board. The thing I like about Scrivener is I do get to keep it, like Milanote is really where I like to play around with things. Scrivener is really like once things are pretty solidified, it goes in there in that doc so that I can reference it a lot easier. How do you keep your stuff organized?
Oof, organized is such a big word. Pretty much the same though. I think like I used to do all my planning in Scrivener, but to be honest, like I think you even said it earlier, like I can't write out it in that way, and like all the planning and the outlining, like digitally, it doesn't click. And so all of my like, okay, now I'm actually writing goes into Scrivener because I think it's a great tool, like you just said, for like keeping everything where it needs to be. But also once you get to the editing and revision stage, I think it's one of the best tools because the editing features it has is chef's kiss because it allows you to not delete anything. You can just like add everything in. It's just so good. So I use that for like my manuscript or the draft. I use Excel for my outline. I use Milanote and Pinterest for brainstorming, but I mostly will go pen to paper. You guys can't see it because I've blurred out my office, but like on my one wall, I have like a crazy like serial killer wall of like my whole outline. Like I need to visualize it in person. I need to write it down. I will never get away from pen and paper fully.
Yeah. I think there's been so many times where I've literally rewritten certain parts of the outline over and over and over again on paper. Mostly, I think it's my ADHD because I'm like, if I don't see it, it doesn't exist. So I need to write this down.
Becca, are we the same person?
Every single time I learn a new detail about you, I'm
No,
like,
I was like,
oh.
wait, same. Strange. Strange.
I finished working on that long scene. He's more persuasive and gives off a trustworthy vibe than I originally thought. He's like lawful neutral, whereas his wife is chaotic evil. Ooh.
Fun.
Fun.
What a dynamic.
Love a chaotic evil wife. They certainly are very interesting. Tiara, I love dialogue, but it can be so hard. I get it. I get it. 569.
That's good. That's really good.
Congratulations. My goodness, you guys are doing great. Hi, Alyssa. I'm joining at the very end, which seems to be a pattern, but I wanted to pop in and say hi. Hello. You're always welcome here. 350 words that time, but I think the draft is done. Congratulations. Also, Ari, I wanted to ask, as we're having this discussion of like dialogue, and I know you mentioned a couple times that you're working on a dialogue draft. I am so curious. I don't know if you can type this all in the chat, but like, how are you doing that? Like, are you focusing just on like interactions, or is it like straight up dialogue? I would be just so curious to see how you're managing that.
Yeah, teach me your ways. Maybe I need to do a dialogue draft, whatever that means. I'd love to know.
I had to move on to working at calculus. Boo. and I had discovered I enjoy lo-fi music. I did not know this about myself. I love introducing people to lo-fi music. And the great thing about lo-fi is that there's so many playlists on Spotify, so like I will listen to the Hobbit soundtrack, but it's lo-fi.
Mm-hmm. I really like I think there's a Spotify playlist called Zelda and Chill. I love like video game music lo-fi.
Yes. I think I have that one
Animal
saved.
Crossing or like Breath of the Wild soundtrack, but lo-fi.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
So good. Or Harry Potter lo-fi.
Oh,
So good. Yeah.
Fleabag is seriously one of my favorite shows ever. It's so good. It's so
good.
I'm pretty late to the trends when it comes to like TV shows. My husband is definitely more of like a show connoisseur, so he's the one that told me about it. I love that show so much. And Annabelle is watching it right now.
Perfect. Perfect.
Big fan of lo-fi classical music. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if I've listened to that.
I've done that too. They are bangers. Yeah, they're bangers.
It's so hard. I'm writing it like a screenplay and I find it so helpful. It's helpful to put each character's motivation in context for each scene. That's actually so smart, bestie.
That might be the smartest thing I've ever heard.
That might be the move.
that might have just unlocked everything about writing for me.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh wait. Okay. So basically, if character
teach us more.
Yeah. See, this is why you need to join the stream.
Come on, Ari. Join
the stream. So basically, if character A has goal X and character B has goal Y, and they directly conflict with each other's goals for this scene, what do they say to each other if it's a screenplay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Were you a screenwriter, Ari? Like, did you take classes for that? Is this just like naturally what you gravitate towards, or like, I would love to know. Dialogue is so hard. This actually might be really helpful to like run chapters through a dialogue only, put them into like a little play.
Well, and then you just get to go back and do all the prose and like fill in the blanks.
Which comes way easier to me. Sometimes I over prose it.
Yeah. It's funny because again, like Victoria, I know her background is in screenwriting. And so whenever I listen to her talk about craft and stuff, I can see the screenwriting influence like when she's talking. And I'm just like, damn, maybe that's the move.
Yeah, maybe it is. Wow.
All right. Mick, you got time for one more sprint? If you need to hop off, you can hop off.
I know. I was like, I was trying to hop off at 9 for my little old lady grandma self. But I can write until 9 with you guys.
Awesome. We'll do a short sprint. How about that? Let's do a quickie sprint.
Perfect.
Let me turn this up apparently because
I was like, you don't have to keep it short for me. You can keep it to the 30. You are all good.
Okay, that might be a lot easier to like listen to. Okay, cool. Well then, should we preemptively say goodbye in case you need to hop off?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you guys for chatting. The chat has been so lovely and wonderful and has kept me motivated, and I've learned like 5 new things tonight, which is so amazing. So thank you all for sharing your wisdom. Thanks for watching along. Hope you all get far in your writing projects.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much this was so fun. I loved having you on, and
thanks. I'm so happy.
Yeah. So feel free to hop off whenever you need to. We shall continue writing. All right, chat. Let us do. Where are we? I'll figure out how to do this eventually. There we go. All right, new sprint. Here you go. And some tunes.
But I've come so far. Is this it? Dummy, you got a death wish.
Okay, guys. How did everyone do for the last sprint? I think I did. What did I do? Oh god, I don't even know where I started on this sprint. I think I did like 200 words. Honestly, this dialogue section was kind of kicking my ass. But I had finished about 1,100 words earlier in the day, and I think I got about another 1,000 in the stream, at least another like 900. So I'm at 2,000 words for the day. My goal is about 2,300. So I might do one more writing sprint like once I'm done off the live, but I also need to eat at some point today. So I might go make myself some dinner. Let's see. Alrighty. Well, if no one has anything else that they want to share, I will go ahead and close out the live. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I had such a fun time talking with Michaela. She and I are just so very similar. So it was really interesting getting to see like where our experiences overlapped. But yeah, I hope everyone got some really good progress on their projects. And don't forget that I have another writing stream. I think a big group of us are doing a live stream on Friday. So if you're able to make it to that, I have more information on that in the community post on my channel, so go check that out. Cody is going to be hosting the stream, and you can see me and Michaela and Alyssa. We're all going to be hopping onto that stream. And then I will be hosting my last stream for NaNoWriMo on the 30th. We'll be doing 6 o'clock again. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great night, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!